Are you an emerging business leader? How would you like a full-ride MBA scholarship? It's possible. The Ivy College of Business is offering a full scholarship for one standout student in the online MBA. This first Emerging Leader MBA Scholarship will be awarded to one qualified candidate who is ready to start classes in the fall of 2026. Apply by May 15th. The link is copied below. Reach your full potential with the Iowa State MBA.
The Business Records News Headlines podcast is brought to you by the Ivy College of Business at Iowa State University, where world-class faculty, staff, programs, and facilities come together to deliver business education for a rapidly changing world. At Ivy, students gain more than a degree, they gain real-world experience and the confidence to lead in any industry. Welcome to the Business Record News Headlines podcast presented by the Ivy College of Business at Iowa State University. This is your essential weekly briefing on local business news from across the state. I'm Business Record President Chris Conetzkey, here with my co-host, Business Record Editor Sarah Diehn. We're starting our Business Record Roundup reviewing the top 3 stories reported by the Business Record Newsroom that you might have missed over the past week.
While economic indicators are showing mixed results nationwide, Iowa appears to be faring slightly better than expected, prompting a state board to adjust its revenue predictions for the state. Last week, the Revenue Estimating Conference revised its revenue estimate for Iowa's fiscal year 2026 budget, predicting an 8.9% decrease, down slightly from the 9.1% decrease estimated by the group in October. The group also estimated a revenue increase in fiscal year 2027. Craig Paulson, director of the Iowa Department of Management, said the new numbers show that the state has the revenue necessary to meet fiscal year 2026 appropriations between reserve and other funds. The adjustment reflects some improvement in Iowa as state and national economic indicators remain in conflict and some federal data is limited following the government shutdown. Lawmakers use the conference's reports when making policy decisions during the legislative session, which begins January 12th.
The state's Healthy Kids Iowa Summer Food Pilot Program received mixed reviews in a preliminary survey of participants and meal site partners. Aaron Drinnen, a director with Iowa Health and Human Services, said the department received positive feedback from participants about the amount and types of food, while distribution partners reported logistical challenges around storage and transportation. The Healthy Kids Iowa program was launched this year as an alternative to the federal summer EBT program, which Governor Kim Reynolds has declined participation in since 2023. The preliminary review of the program was shared at the recent local food policy summit hosted by the Iowa Food System Coalition. Drinnen said the program is awaiting final evaluations.
Iowa banking and real estate professionals recently told the Business Record that under a 50-year mortgage option, as proposed by President Donald Trump, borrowers would realize only a small reduction in monthly payments, pay significantly more in total interest, and build little equity. Robert Hartwig, president of Iowa Bankers Mortgage Corporation, said on our recent Project 515 housing panel that a 50-year mortgage on an average-size home loan in Iowa wouldn't lower the monthly payment enough to account for the increased interest, which would double compared to a 30-year mortgage. A recent analysis by UBS Bank had similar findings. Trump suggested the 50-year mortgage in November as a move to help with affordability challenges coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic, including slower construction of new homes and higher interest rates. Federal Housing Finance Agency Director Bill Pulte confirmed that the administration is working to develop a plan for 50-year mortgages. You can read all these stories in full and more news at businessrecord.com. Next up is our statewide headlines with the news you need to know from across Iowa.
New data from Iowa Workforce Development shows Iowa employers added 3,700 jobs in September, fueled by increases in hiring by public and private schools. The government sector, which includes public education, added 1,700 jobs in September, and educational services added another 700 jobs. Other sectors that added jobs include construction, manufacturing, and accommodation and food services. The workforce data is the most recent available, with the federal government shutdown delaying the release of that data.
The Des Moines Register reports that more than 200 challenged ballots have delayed the outcome of the unionization vote for Unity Point Health nurses at 4 Des Moines area hospitals. If the vote passes, nurses at Iowa Methodist Medical Center, Blank Children's Hospital, Iowa Lutheran Hospital, and Methodist West Hospital would have union representation through Teamsters Local 90. The Register reported December 10 that 871 nurses voted yes, with 666 against, and 251 contested ballots that must be reviewed by the National Labor Relations Board before the results can be finalized. The challenged ballots are potentially enough to determine the outcome depending on how they divide. The vote was held from December 7 to 9.
Radio Iowa reports Iowa farmers are starting to talk with lenders about borrowing money to pay for operations or to buy land and equipment. The Federal Reserve Bank reports weakness in the crop sector weighed further on farm finances, and credit conditions have gradually tightened. Ty Kreitman, an economist with the Federal Reserve of Kansas City, said the situation is bleakest in the crop sector, where farmers have been at or below the break-even mark for the past few harvests. The number of operations they classify as highly leveraged has been creeping up. He said there are about 20% of farm borrowers with debt-to-asset ratios measuring leverage of above 40%.
The Corridor Business Journal reports the Nordex Group will supply Alliant Energy with up to 190 wind turbines for large-scale projects in the Midwest, including Iowa, following a competitive request for proposals. The turbines are scheduled for installation in 2028 and 2029. Once operational, they will provide up to 1,060 megawatts of capacity. Subject to regulatory approval from the Iowa Utilities Commission, the turbines will be manufactured at Nordex's facility in West Branch, where the company recently restarted production for turbine hubs, drivetrains, and nacelles. The agreements will become effective following required regulatory approvals and do not yet represent a firm order.
The Des Moines Register reports Iowa farmland values were mostly unchanged this year, inching less than 1% higher to an average of $11,549 per acre, Iowa State University reported. A limited supply of farmland on the market, solid returns for Iowa livestock producers, and strong crop yields helped support land values despite losses for corn and soybean growers struggling with trade wars, low prices, and high costs. Rabail Shandio, an ISU agricultural economist, said in an online webinar on the annual report. I would really classify this change as stability in the land market rather than growth, said Shandio, who leads the closely watched land value survey. That's our show for today. Before we go, we have a few things for you to take with you through the rest of your week. Stay tuned for an announcement of our 2025 BPC Changemakers, which is coming early next week in the Business Record Daily. BPC started the Changemaker Awards in 2023 to reflect on the year in the news and to recognize leaders and stories that helped shape the central Iowa area throughout 2025. Lastly, one fun thing to know, if you're looking for a holiday music performance, the Des Moines Symphony this weekend is putting on performance of the Holiday Brass Show at the Des Moines Civic Center.
The Ivy College of Business at Iowa State University is proud to introduce the Emerging Leader MBA Scholarship, a full ride opportunity designed to develop Iowa's next generation of business leaders. Full ride, full potential. Learn more and apply online at ivybusiness.iastate.edu or by clicking the link in our show description.
We hope you enjoy today's program and stay up to date with all the news each week here every Wednesday. Have a great rest of your week.